Good evening, Internet. I want to talk to you today about a very interesting community within an already pretty interesting community. 4chan is known as one of the most toxic websites on the Internet. And within 4chan, surrounded by all the anime, cartoons, and video games, and furry porn, there is Fit, a physical fitness board within 4chan. Now, what on earth does a self-improvement community look like within one of the most toxic communities on the Internet? I can tell you, it is interesting. The community of Fit, or as they like to refer to themselves, Fitizens, is about a pretty mixed bag of what you would find on 4chan. There are a lot of people who are genuinely interested in the topic the board is focused on, which is self-improvement, and then there's about a 50% of people are trolls who are intentionally giving bad advice to destroy people. It's like I said, it's very interesting. Usually on other boards, trolls have to work pretty hard to try and get you to do stupid stuff to yourself, but on Fit, it's kind of why a lot of people go there, so I would definitely recommend double checking on any information you receive there. So why on earth would anyone even try going to Fit to improve themselves? There's a number of communities online that are much more helpful, much more kind to people trying to get into fitness. In fact, the whole world has become a lot more welcoming and kind in how they deal with people who are trying to improve themselves. So why on earth would you go to a really horribly mean place that gives dishonest information and in fact promotes a lot of incredibly unhealthy lifestyles? Well, it's kind of a reoccurring theme with every community on 4chan. When everyone is unwelcome, nobody is, which is to say, when everyone is despised, everyone is kind of loved on 4chan. In this weird way, by being the most toxic place on the internet, it also becomes the most welcoming. If you can get through the hurdle of horrible people that are on this website, you will find one of the most judgment-free websites on the internet. There's so many insults and irate people going around on this website that it all just becomes noise at a certain point. It becomes impossible to have your feelings hurt on this website because they're just constantly being hurt. That may sound like a horrible situation to a lot of people, but personally, I found it to be really rewarding. When it comes to trying to improve yourself, it takes a deal of humility to look down inside yourself and say, I'm not happy with who I am. And so going out into the world and trying to do better, you have to really swallow your pride. And going to these places, these communities that are so welcoming and so willing to carry you and say whatever you need to hear to get you to where you need to be to improve yourself ends up being kind of a patronizing experience. But not on Fit. Fit will challenge you, Fit will insult you, Fit will berate you and tell you that you're not gonna make it. And in a world that's very politically correct and willing to tell you that you're doing the right thing no matter what you're doing, it's kind of a breath of fresh air to have a place full of horrible people telling you you might not make it, because it's such a pleasure to prove them wrong. Thanks for listening, Internet. Have a good night.